All right, joining us now here on In the Circle on D1 Softball Power by 643 as we continue some Big 12 talk. She was a unanimous Big 12 first team all-conference performer a year ago. Led the team in hitting, base hits, doubles, RBIs, total bases, you name it. She led it all. She played 5 positions last year for the Iowa State Cyclones. I speak of Jessie Clemons joining us here on In the Circle at D1 Softball. How you doing?
Good. Thank you so much for having me.
Let's first start with last year. When you reflected on last year, what comes to your mind?
It's bittersweet. It's bittersweet. Of course, our conference play was probably one of the best performances we've had in our recent history, and really, really proud of what we accomplished then. Um, but of course, we had a slow start, and that ended up nipping us in the butt in the postseason, and I'm excited to prevent that this year.
Has that been a focal point among the returners about starting strong early in the
Oh
season?
yeah.
Not
Oh yeah. Yeah, we've definitely focused on that. We've made quite a few changes um in practices and mindset, all that fun stuff. And so I'm excited to see the fruits of our labor this year.
I'm curious, do you feel that as a team you come in this year with more confidence than maybe you had at this point a year ago because of what
Oh
you
yeah.
accomplished? Top four finish in the Big 12 in the regular season and in the Big 12 tournament. I sense more confidence and as a result could help you get to a better start.
Oh yeah, I definitely agree. Last year was a lot of uncertainty because we had was it a handful of returners that were on the year that started consistently the year prior. So we had a lot of transfers, a lot of new faces, freshmen. And so a lot of us just really didn't know how it was going to go. And as soon as we got our lineup, got our um, somewhat of a steady, like people on the field know what position they're playing, we really just took off and started playing really, really good softball.
What about you personally? What did you learn from last year, having gone through it as a freshman? I mentioned the numbers you had, not to mention all the defensive responsibilities that you have. What did
Mhm.
you learn from last year that you're going to take with you here this year?
Yeah, well, one of the biggest surprises to me when I came from high school and travel ball to the college play is just the level of the the best teams and the worst teams. That talent disparity is so much less than in high school and the travel teams you see. Like you could play a bad team in high school and they're just awful. They're really, really bad. But you could play a bad team in college and they are solid. Like they're hitting the ball. If you put it on the plate, they're still gonna hit it. Sure, they might have some shortcomings and other things, but you got to be on it every single game in order to win. Like you got to play better for the better teams, and you still got to play really good to beat the bad teams. So that was definitely an eye-opening experience, um, and just a mindset switch. Like, oh, this team isn't as good. I still got to go out there. I still got to play. I still got to do everything right.
You had a great player. I'm sure that you learned a lot from it, Angelina Allen,
Yes.
and her own talent. What did you learn from her? And then, do you feel you got to take up more of that intangible leadership that she brought? Talk about some of the leadership that you have on the team with her, obviously moving on, graduating, and such a great player and leader for you.
Yeah, Mo leaving definitely left a hole. Especially early fall this year, we were kind of like, all right, we're gonna feel it out, see, like obviously I'm gonna have more of a leadership position. Some of the girls that were juniors last year, they have a little bit more leadership position. Mo was just a solid, non-emotional, consistent player that really nobody had any problems with. She was just there for the softball, there for the academics. She was just bled Iowa State. And of course, me coming up, I was looking up to her. She was just fantastic. I loved her so much. And this year, trying not to replicate her, but to kind of improve upon and better everybody in order to fill her gap. That was one of the focuses in the fall. And I think we did a pretty good job. Obviously, there's some things Angelina did that we can't ever replicate, but I think we're in a good spot now going into the season that we're pretty solid leadership wise.
of the new faces on this roster, who has stood out to you this year? And then what kind of advice might you give some of the new faces, having been a new, you were a new face a year ago?
Yeah, I told them this before we went into the winter time. Um, don't get comfortable. The whole fall, my freshman year, I was playing second base. I mean, I dabbled a little bit at shortstop, but I was playing second base. That was my position. And I ended up playing 7 innings at second base the entire season. And I told them that that was fine. I actually enjoyed it. I loved hopping around. It was a new challenge for me every 3 weeks, pretty much, you know? And I also told them that one of our girls last year, Carly Ford, um, she rode the bench a good like the first half of the season, and then our catcher went out with a concussion for maybe a week. So Carly got her chance, and she absolutely shined. She did so good in that position, and then Carly never left the rest of the season. And I told them, like, even if you maybe are still fighting for this position, um, and you're not getting it the first couple weekends, don't panic. Like you will get your opportunities, and as long as you fulfill them, as long as you execute, you will be put in more opportunities.
Yeah, I'll never forget. I always saw you all in Orlando when you won the UCF series. I felt like that was the turning point where you all kind of figured it out and went off on a run there. You beat a real again. You won a series at UCF, swept them, a really good UCF team. Won a series
Mhm.
against Arizona State tournament teams there. Do you
Mhm.
agree that was a turning point? And if so, what changed? What was the flip of the switches? The cliche is that you noticed
Yeah,
that changed.
yeah, absolutely. That weekend, you definitely nailed it. That was the turning point in our season. That was spring break weekend. We had just came from Old Miss, had a not great weekend there. Coming to UCF, which is, I want to say, our second conference play, and we had lost the series to Houston, which was rough. And we had the opportunity to have like one full day of practice. And in that practice, we like completely changed the way we practiced. It was more purposeful, more situational. We put pressure on each other. Um, we just rose the bar. Like we have got to stop accepting bobbles in practice. Like we have got to stop doing a lot of things that just we had accepted that we're not should not accept, and we got cut that out, and we really focused on executing when we execute, not panicking, um, being situationally aware on the field and in the batter's box, and that mental switch. And honestly, we just said, who gives a crap? Like, we don't care anymore. Just go out there, play. If we can play free, if we can play relaxed, then that's all we're here to do. And for whatever reason, those words kind of stuck with our girls, and we just hit the ground running. I remember after the second game, winning the second game, we were just bewildered. We were so stoked. We could not believe we won the series. And then we had to come back the next day, and we had a bit of a talk to ground ourselves and say, hey, we have an opportunity to sweep this team. Let's go out there and do it. And we ended up sweeping them. And I was so happy because that was Angelina, our senior. That was her first time in like that she had ever swept a team as a Cyclone. So that was a pretty proud moment.
Oh, did not know that stat. That's a good stat there.
Yeah.
Let's talk about you a little bit. You were busy. You were, as I mentioned at the open here, you started at first base, second base, shortstop, center field, right field. Am I missing any positions there?
Nope.
What was that
Mm-mm.
like being moved all over the place and not knowing where you might literally play defensively? You knew you were going to be in the lineup, but you're not
Yeah.
necessarily where you would be playing defensively. What came about? What was that like to experience that? And how many of those positions had you played prior to last year? How many
Hmm.
had you not?
Yeah. It was freeing, honestly. A big portion of it was the coaches trusted me that they knew I could do a good job at that position, but they also said, Jess, like we understand you have not gotten reps. If you make a mistake, if you maybe not know technically where you're supposed to be, like that's okay. We'll fix it. And they were very good at understanding that like if I run into a scenario that I haven't seen before at that position, they'll explain to me what I need to do, and then the next play I'll do it. I was very good at doing that, so that allowed me to be successful quicker in those positions. Um, I really had very little experience at first. I have to say that was my least favorite position that I played, just because it was so much different. I had been used to playing middle infield my entire life, some outfield. Um, but first base was definitely interesting on the bunts and the cuts for. I remember I just didn't decide to cut, and it ended up not mattering. But they said, you know what, maybe you should go out there and cut ball next time if there's ball coming for. You know, should probably do that. But uh, yeah, so it was definitely an experience, not knowing where I was kind of going to play, especially in a weekend game to game. Um, it can be stressful, but I thought I had a really good mindset of just just play. The ball is the same size, same color wherever I am on the field, and I've watched these girls practice, and I know what it's supposed to look like. And me seeing what it's supposed to look like, I can try to replicate that quite a bit in practices. Um, so just kind of working with what I'm given. So,
Did very well for yourself. Did you have a
yeah.
favorite position?
Oh, shortstop.
I
I mean,
feel
I've played shortstop my entire life, and going back to that position, I put the most pressure on myself to perform at, just because I have the most experience there. And there were a few times where I had to calm myself down and tell myself that I haven't gotten very many reps at all there, and so that I might not be up to my expectations that I put on myself. So,
I would imagine though you're more prepared this year. Like if the coaching staff says, "Hey, you're playing the outfield because we need you there," you're
oh
more ready
yeah,
now than ever before.
exactly.
And it's a compliment to what a great athlete you are that they trust you to play all these different positions.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. hmm
Tell me a little bit about your upbringing. What got you into softball?
My parents. My mom didn't really what she was more of a tennis player, but my dad played baseball, fast pitch softball quite a bit. And I have a twin brother, Justin, and an older brother, Alex. And we've just kind of been a baseball family, baseball, softball family since we could walk. We would play wiffle ball before we all got into high school. We would play wiffle ball 6 hours a day. Like it didn't matter out in the field. Our dad got mad at us because we would have the home plate and we would tear up the batter's box in the grass. And so instead of moving the field, we would just switch sides. We'd just hit left-handed instead for a couple weeks. And I mean, I played baseball up until I was 12. I was on the same team as my twin brother, Justin, and I loved baseball. Baseball was so much fun. I think that's where I got a lot of my athleticism as well, and just learning the different arm motions as well. Because in baseball, it's all about being cool and stuff like that. But yeah, I remember making that transition when I was about 12, and I absolutely hated it. I did not want to play softball at all. There was I want to say her name's Monet Davis, who was in the Little League World
Yeah,
Series
yeah.
at that point. I wanted to be her so bad, but my parents told me that I had to try softball. So once I tried it, I enjoyed it. It wasn't girly and not tough at all. Uh, so, no, I really enjoyed it. Got into all the travel teams, played high school ball. I knew I was going to stay Midwest. I wasn't planning on going anywhere too far away from home. But yeah, I ended up at Iowa State, so it was really good. It's really nice.
That worked out very well. You're going to have to
Mhm.
talk to like UCF shortstop Aubrey Evans because you two have a similar story.
Oh
Baseball,
yeah?
and then, yeah, she played baseball growing, and then all right, fine, I'll do the softball. It's kind of eerie. Maybe it's in the water in the league. I don't know what's going
Maybe.
on. Now, as I understand it, though, you played softball, but you also played basketball and track in high
I
school. Is that
did.
is that accurate?
Yep.
How would
hmm
you describe yourself as a basketball player and track athlete?
Oh, I loved playing basketball and track. I'm so grateful that I played both of or all three sports in high school. I am grateful that Iowa High School plays softball in the summer. I personally really, really enjoyed it. Um, and basketball and basketball is so fun because it's also a team sport, but it's not all on you. Like in softball, it's a team sport, but you are the only person up to bat. You are the only person on that field, like when you're field the ball. Basketball, it's so team oriented on plays and seeing if you can get this person open to create this opportunity. So that mindset and that physical um aspect of the game was so different that it helped me move into softball. And then track I also really loved because it was completely individual. Like of course you had your relay events, but it is all on you. It's a team sport, it is a team sport. Um but you are the only one on that out on that track. Like you are going to push yourself and it is completely like if you want to push yourself, you can push yourself. But if you don't want to, you can cruise. And I really liked that mental aspect of like just push and push and push. Um, and then just the pressure of it all being on your shoulders kind of in track. Like, oh my goodness. Like, of course, we went to the Drake relays and stayed all at the Drake Bulldog Stadium, which is huge, packed, thousands of people there. And so when you're about to run. Like it is surreal. And that pressure, managing that really, really, really helps with softball as well. So I'm so grateful I did both of those sports because they helped me like more than I can imagine be a better softball athlete.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you about that. That was a good answer on that. What
Mhm.
position did you play basketball?
I was a lot of point guard, shooting guard. As I got older in my career, I was more a shooting guard, point guard. I'd rather shoot and drive. Driving was my thing. Uh, I love a good Euro step. So,
Good guard, yeah,
hmm
guard, yeah, combo guard. I get it. That makes sense.
exactly.
Makes sense. And then
hmm
track. What was your favorite track event you ran?
400 hurdles was my jam.
Really?
Yes, I absolutely loved the 400 hurdles. I got into it. I actually ran every race in high school, Iowa high school, except the 3K. So I started out as a distance runner, found out I hated that. I was okay. But I ran, the 15, the 800s and all that fun stuff, 4x8. And then sophomore, junior year, I was more mid-distance, running a lot of 400s, maybe 200, but it was mostly 400s, 4x2, all that fun stuff. And then my sophomore year, I dabbled in 400 hurdles. And then my junior and senior year is really when I got into the 400 hurdles, I did a little bit of shuttle hurdle, open 100 hurdle, um, open one, open twos. I legitimately ran every single race. Um, but my senior year, I was more of a short sprinter. But I absolutely loved the 400 hurdles. And then it would be the 4x4. 4x4 is my second favorite.
Right on. That makes tons of sense there. Uh,
Mhm.
if you could only pick one, would you pick basketball or track?
Oh, no. That's really, really difficult because I did not get into track until high school. Well, I guess
Oh,
junior high, but I didn't like find a love for it until high school. Um, Basketball, I played my entire life. Um, a lot of people ask me if I didn't like why I didn't decide to go to college in basketball or try to go that route, but I just didn't go to really or have like a travel team. I didn't play on all the travel teams in basketball because that was during softball season. I can't answer that. I'm sorry.
all
I
right. No,
can't.
hey, fair. That's a
It's
hot
hard.
question. I get it. Let me ask you
hmm
that. Oh, let me ask you this then. Could you play basketball now? Like, kind of do what Megan Grant at UCLA is doing, where she's kind of dabbling a little bit in basketball. You think you could pull that off or no? Too far?
No,
No?
no,
Okay. Okay.
Mm-mm.
Fair.
That's way too hardcore for me.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
Because you're in a basketball school. I just figured basketball state. I just figured.
Yeah, I would love it. I would love to shoot some hoops sometimes, kind of reminisce a little bit, but oh no, I don't know that I
Have
would.
you, well, as being an athlete at Iowa State, have you maybe get the opportunity to shoot some shots there at the arena there where the basketball team plays?
Oh,
Any?
not at Hilton, not at Hilton.
No.
I'll have to sometime though.
Yeah, you need like all you got to say. Look, I mean, it could be in the off season when they're not. Hey, I just want to
Exactly.
take some shots. Like I think you've
Mhm.
earned that right
Yeah,
on that.
yeah.
So okay,
I'll see if I can pull some strings.
I think you know people there. Again,
Yeah.
maybe help it
Mhm.
happen. What got you to come to Iowa State?
Um, it was really so Pleasant Valley, I graduated from Pleasant Valley High School. We had at the time three girls all commit and play at Iowa State, and all three were my mentors growing up. Like when I was in elementary and middle school, the Spellogs, Carly and Nellie Spellog, they were here, and I would watch them play basketball. And I didn't even know they played softball, but I just idolized them playing basketball. And then I found out they played softball and they committed to Iowa State. I'm like, oh, that's so cool. Like, uh, I was just in awe. And then, of course, Emily Wood followed uh, them committing to Iowa State. She unfortunately left, but it like Iowa State was still so cool because both of my mentors, my idols, they went here. And so, of course, I went to camps and I met Coach Pink a couple times, saw the campus, and I really, really liked it. Um, Majoring in biology here, they had my major. Um, there's just so many yeses, and they're only 2.5 hours, 2:45 away from my house. It was just a very, very good choice. Like there really wasn't another option that I was looking for.
Describe playing for Coach Pink.
It's fun. It's fun. He is very like he tries to bond with the girls a whole lot. It's funny, he'll there's one girl or a couple girls on our team who are Chiefs fans, and of course Coach Pink is the biggest Kansas City Chiefs fans ever. So anytime he comes up to a conversation with them, it was how about them Chiefs? That's usually how he starts his conversations with a couple of those teammates. And um, just being very personable, talking to us about like things in our life. Another girl on our team has a sister who's playing collegiate ball, and he goes, "Oh, hey, how's your sister doing? I saw this, this, and this about her." Um, but it's nice. I like him. I think he does a great job. Um, I think he really cares about Iowa State softball. Yeah.
Do you have a funny Pink story you could share?
Yeah, the first one that comes to mind for me is one of the very first weeks I was here last year. And we have these big turtles, hitting turtles, and they really are kind of they like to like cave a little bit, and so normally I have to have two or three people holding a corner and pushing them. And Pink thought he should help because we were putting stuff away, and I was on the clear opposite side of the field. There was some other girls helping him, and these turtles, these cages, have wheels and they also have like netting that falls down so no balls go underneath. And so you can just clip up the netting when you move them. Well, Pink decided he did not want to clip up the netting. And if you can see where I'm going with this, he tried to move it and then stepped on the net and did a nice tumble. And so he was talking about how his shoulder was sore for the next 3 weeks on how, he could only hit infield fungo. He wasn't quite
Oh,
ready for the outfield fungo. It was so funny. We made fun of him for a long time. A long time.
wow. When did that happen during the year? When did that happen? When
Oh,
was
it was
that?
fall. It
Oh,
was
in the
fall.
fall.
Maybe,
Okay, okay,
yeah.
okay.
It was maybe the first or second week of practices. And Pink does that. And like us freshmen are like, oh my God. Like, do we need to like run and help him?
Right.
And of course the older girls are just straight laughing. Like they don't care. They do not care. All the older girls are laughing. And it was
Oh
funny.
man.
It was good.
Watch your step, man.
Yeah.
Jeez. Oh
He
man.
he loves to laugh at himself.
That's
Loves to
true.
laugh at
Yes, that
himself.
is true. Yes, he does.
hmm
He's
Him
very
and
much.
his Diet Dr. Pepper. Nope, sorry. Excuse me, Diet Mountain Dew.
Oh,
Him and
okay,
his
good to
Diet
know.
Mountain Dew.
Okay, Downton Mountain Dew.
Never,
Yeah,
never see them apart.
yeah, I could see that. I could definitely see that. That makes a ton of sense on that.
Yeah.
What did you learn playing in the Big 12 last year that you'll take with you this year playing in the Big 12? Did you have a favorite city that you visited or a city you're
Mhm.
looking forward to visiting?
Yeah. I really, really enjoyed Utah. We played at the University of Utah, Utah Utes, last season, and that was pretty. I had never maybe been to, hadn't ever really been to Utah before, and everybody was, of course, raving about it. Oh, so pretty. Oh, this, and that. And it is. It really is. And so, of course, we play at BYU this year, and so I am really excited to go back and experience that again. I did also enjoy playing at OSU. That, of course, we got the biggest crowd there, and that was the first time I got chirped. Somebody looked up one of the. It was very, very innocent, but somebody got one of the people in the stands found my Instagram and was asking about basketball and track and stuff like that. And so it was all good fun. It was funny.
Smack
I
talk.
enjoyed that.
Oh
Yeah,
my. A little
yeah,
trash
it
talk.
was fun.
I think you got the
hmm
last laugh if I recall in that series, but that's a whole other.
I think we did. Yes, I agree.
That's funny. What would they ask
hmm
about tracking like the basketball? I mean, I asked questions, but I was genuinely intrigued to see what you were
Oh
playing.
yeah.
What could they possibly be bringing up that's negative?
Anything negative. I think they wanted to know that they found my Instagram and so
Ah,
distract
all
me from
right,
the game.
all right, fair
Yeah,
enough. Yeah,
yeah,
that's all right. That's
yeah.
it. To each his own. The twist there.
hmm No,
Uh,
I'm think I'm looking forward to the Big 12 in that last year there was a Big 12 like preseason rankings that came out, and Iowa State was ranked second to last. That was what was our expected outcome. And of course, our strength coach was furious about that. And so he printed it out and posted it all over our locker room and just highlighted Iowa State at the bottom and just used that as a motivator for just anything. Look at it, scoff, you know? And I think I love the Big 12 because stuff like that can happen. We can be expected to finish the bottom two of the conference, and we ended up staying ahead of BYU, of UCF, of all of these so-called better teams than us, and we won the series against OSU, against ASU, all of these top-rated teams. So that's what I really love about the Big 12, is how things can change so fast.
yeah, it's a top two league easily, and once again, it'll be showcased with a lot of talented players. There, a couple more things. What are you majoring in? What's your goals outside of softball?
Yeah, so I'm majoring in biology, and I hope to go to PA school post undergrad. And I've actually had to do quite a bit of work for that. Um, just getting clinical hours, making myself a more uh, a pleasable or um, likable
Sure.
candidate. My older brother actually just got accepted into Marquette's PA program. And so
Oh,
he's been a great resource of just, hey, they like this, and this is how you should set up your resume, and a whole bunch of stuff. This is what classes to take. Um, yeah, and then we actually have another girl on our team, Ireland Buss, who is also planning on going to PA school. She's actually starting the application process here in a couple months, so it's
wow.
going to be exciting.
Does it get competitive with you and your brother?
A little bit, a little bit.
Okay.
My older brother Alex, he played baseball for South Dakota State. And so once he committed, he's 3 years older than me. Once he committed, he was the most athletic sibling. And he tried to go to the drafts, didn't work out, but he said if he made it to the MLB draft, there's basically nothing I could do to win the most athletic sibling award. But right now I have it. And
As
I
you
don't think
should.
I'll keep it. So
Yeah. You got a lot to gain. Yeah, she's got a lot to gain on you. Come on, we're kidding.
exactly.
All right.
Hmm.
Last thing. I know you're all motivated after the way last year with, the way you finished the season and, feeling short.
Hmm.
What's going to be the keys this year to mention get off to a good start, but also kind of accomplish your internal goals as a team?
Hmm. Yeah, for us this year, it's gonna be winning games. From start to finish. Our preseason this year isn't gonna be as RPI like strength. Strength schedule isn't gonna be as good as last year. So that's just gonna put it up to us on whether or not we can win games and just get stuff done. Um, that's really gonna be the goal. It's not gonna doesn't really have to be pretty all the time. Um, as long as a W comes out, that's the goal.
That is Jesse Clemons, first team All Big 12 unanimous choice, joining us here at In the Circle on D1 Softball, powered by 643. A pleasure to get to talk to you. Enjoy watching you play. Look forward to watching you play this year, whatever position they got you going.
Exactly. Hmm.
That look forward to that. Send my best to Coach Pink, but thanks for coming on with us here on In the Circle on D1 Softball.
Absolutely. Thanks so much.